Hey, I'm Mark Doty, and this is Automatic Gainsay. It's a YouTube channel where I demonstrate vintage analog synthesizers and modern analog synthesizers. I show you what the functionality does and how it sounds when it does it. That is why it is a demonstration channel. I do demonstrations. I know there are plenty of other people out there who do reviews where they have a synthesizer there and they tell you what's great about it or what's not great about it. That's not my goal. It's not really what I'm doing. However, some people have noticed that I do get really enthusiastic in the midst of my demonstrations where I sort of editorialize about cool functions and whatever. Now, the reason I do this isn't because there's some motive behind it. I'm not being paid by some company to say good things. I only demonstrate synthesizers that I'm really, really excited about. So I'm starting from a positive bias already. The point is, I only demonstrate synthesizers that I'm really, really excited about. And so that's why it sort of gives people the sense that I'm a reviewer, because I tell you good things about a synth. Or I do things, I'm showing you a function, and I tell you that that is a good function. Okay, I just want to make that clear because there seems to be some sort of confusion about what constitutes a demonstrator and a reviewer. I am not a reviewer. I'm not here to tell you what to like. I'm here to show you things and let you decide if that's a thing that you like. So that's what I do. Now, I've said all this because, as you might have been noticing, I've been doing a lot of demonstration videos on the Arturia PolyBrute. Now, if you've been watching these videos, you've seen that I'm pretty enthusiastic about it. But as I'm going through it, I'm finding myself overwhelmed with enthusiasm. So I decided to do this video, which is a little bit different from the videos that I'm in the midst of doing. Now, the reason that I'm saying all of this is because I'm about to do a video that kind of goes outside my standard demonstrative structure and is basically just a lot of enthusiastic raving about a synthesizer. And that synthesizer is the Arturia PolyBrute. As I'm going through the demonstrations that I'm doing, I'm finding myself overwhelmed with enthusiasm about a variety of functions. And I feel like in the vast series of videos, some really great high points are being lost because there's just so much information. So I decided to make a video wherein I highlight the 10 aspects of the Arturia PolyBrute that should make you lose your shit. Because if you are an analog synthesizer enthusiast like I am, and I should be clear, my demonstration channel is from the perspective of an analog synthesizer demonstrator, a vintage analog synthesizer demonstrator. So when I say something's really cool, I'm coming from that perspective. It may not actually be right for you, but if you're here, it's because you want to know about analog synthesizers coming from my perspective. Now, there's a lot of analog equipment out there. I mean, Eurorack and whatever, wherein people are happy about how it sounds, but that's not the goal of what they're doing. For me, analog sound is the goal. And I judge modern analog synthesizers based on vintage analog synthesizers. So the things I'm going to show you are things that thrill a guy like me who got really excited about 1970s and 60s vintage analog synthesizers. So it's from that perspective. So I decided to make this video about 10 things that should make you lose your shit about the Arturia PolyBrute. And so let's get started. This one isn't a huge surprise. It is the morph function. It's what everyone talks about because it's really quite amazing. Each preset is made up of two different patches that you can actually go between. This gives a lot of people the sense that there are literally 2 different presets in every preset, and you're basically just crossfading between them, which would be fine, but a lot less interesting than what's actually happening, which is that there is preset data, 2 different sets of preset data for each preset. And what you're really doing is interpolating between them, which is to say one parameter setting in one of the patches then traverses to the parameter setting in the other patch for every single parameter. And that's way, way different than if you just had 2 sounds and crossfaded them. It results in an amazing array of different possibilities in between each of those patches, not to mention the different ways that you can actually modulate that functionality to come up with really beautiful sounds. Here's a demonstration. For example, in the sound I have right here, there's that sound and that sound. It's all in this same patch, but these are 2 different patch descriptions that we can interpolate between. And all of the different patches that exist at the points between those 2 patches also are present. So you have not only a really cool sort of sound as you morph between 2 patches, but you also are creating an infinite array of patches that exist between those 2 patches, which you can actually save as a patch. So there's that one, that one, that one, that one. And that one. Okay, yeah, so each patch on the PolyBrute is made up of 2 different patches, and the infinite spread of patches that exist between them, it's pure magic.